Nigeria in general. Welcome on the show today. I like Kurubata, but I've got interesting conversations for you. Like I said yesterday, it's going to be a turbulent ride. It's going to get stormy along the way, and so you want to put your seatbelt on for this interesting, informative, and educative ride. Remember, you get a chance to air your views and your thoughts as the conversation goes on. Oof, welcome. All right, I'm excited to be. We'll start with the big stories and then the business news at 4. Continue conversations to 4 o'clock hour. And I'll be looking at some sector where it is touted that there will be some increment. And it's a very vital sector. It's a very important sector. And we'll talk about it and how it affects the common man. And then we will culminate the conversation by 5. And the news update will come your way by 5. And after that, the 5 o'clock conversations will continue. And we'll talk about increment again. And there's another increment likely to happen. And we'll be looking at how it will affect the common man. So we're talking about increment basically today. I mean, looking at our society, a lot of things have gone up. Dollar to the naira is somewhere around 799 plus naira. Something like that. You could just approximate it to 800 naira. Pound to the naira is way over the roof. Somewhere above 8,000 naira. So yeah, we'll talk about all these increments, not necessarily all of them, but we'll talk about increments that I have found in the news today. All right, welcome to the big stories. President pleads with Nigerians, says savings will benefit Nigerians. President pleads saying savings will benefit Nigerians, okay? And this one is interesting, really, because it's been my thought pattern for many years. And it says, no more amnesty for bandits. Chief of Army Staff with that one. And I think in that story, he was calling for the support of the governors and, asking for their permission to go tough on the bandits. And there's the third story that says, court gives DSS 7 days to release Emefiele. Oh, interesting there. I think some newspapers put it like this: charge him to court or release him in 7 days. And then this one is interesting as well. Boards, Obi kicks as Tinubu offers opposition. Okay, let me take it in the right context. Obi kicks as Tinubu offers opposition governor slots. Boards, Obi kicks as Tinubu offers opposition governor slots. You can find that story on the Punch newspaper. And second Niger Bridge vandalized, fittings stolen. Second Niger Bridge vandalized, fittings stolen. Oh, interesting there. I get to the bottom of that. I'm not going to tell you anything about it just yet. So let's go back to the very start, where I told you that the president is pleading with Nigerians, saying that the savings from petrol subsidy removal will benefit Nigerians. And this is not the first time the president has come out to say this. The president said this on several other occasions. The subsidy would now go into other sector. For instance, loan in 2013, it was part of a loan taken in 2013. I think the loan then was 1.1 billion US dollars, and we've been paying in tranches. And I think this is the final one, because the total amount that we have paid is somewhere around 1.8 billion euros. I think pound euros. I stand to be corrected. Any which ways, now have a lot of money to do other things, and that's what the president is saying. And he said that please, I know you guys are suffering. I know people are going through tough times. People are going through very horrible moments, but bear with me. The future is bright. There is light at the end of the tunnel. And that this is me saying it in my own words. So this is not exactly what he said. He was meeting with ex-governors, the class of 99, like some people put it. And that was where he made the statement. He also promised to make palliatives. However, the Punch reported this morning that the palliatives, the 500 billion naira that the government is looking at collecting and using for palliatives because it has asked for permission from the National Assembly. And NLC is saying it's not a good idea. It's not enough, and they listed some things that they would like. I think you should go read the Punch newspaper, and you will get to find out what they reeled out there. They talked about building refineries. They talked about some of the things for the poor and the people in the rural areas. They talked about several issues, and I'd like you to go read the Punch and you get the proper context of the conversation. But however, that's what the president is trying to do. Some people are saying, you know what, it's not enough. The palliatives is not enough. Let's get refineries working first. Let's get the transportation system cheap enough for people and all of that. But what do you make of the president's statement? It will benefit you and I in the future. That's what he's saying. That please, just bear with me a little bit. I know Nigerians are suffering. I say relief is on its way. All right, to the next one. No more amnesty for bandits. Chief of Army Staff is saying no more amnesty for bandits. Now, I like the way the Nation people captioned it. He said, amnesty for bandits, terrorists has failed, says Chief of Army Staff. And in one other report, there's another newspaper that carried it, and it has the caption. I'm trying to look for it now. Something about Army ask governors for free hand to eradicate terrorist orders. Yes, so the Army has come out to say, you know what, governors would have to give them the free hand, the permission of some sort to go into certain places, criminal hideouts, and flush out, bandits. And it's similar to the story we looked at yesterday, where we said in the southeast, the governors are looking for federal government's intervention. So maybe if we relate it or just post the stories, we can then say that the army is saying, you know what, it's not that the federal government does not want to go into these places, but sometimes you guys politicize these things. You guys politicize it by giving amnesty. You guys politicize it by saying, don't worry, we'll find a way to handle it. Just chill. It's the opposition that is doing it. I mean, saying, I'm going to give bandits amnesty anymore. Amnesty has failed. Matter of fact, go on them. I wonder what you think about this. Because I think it's a good one. I should have some champagne, because finally we would go tough, and I hope we do. We would go tough on bandits and criminals, especially in the northern part of Nigeria and in the southern part, where we've got some at-home people who are going about destroying the properties and killing people, and all of that. But let's move on to the next one. Court gives DSS 7 days to release Emefiele. Now, the court is saying, I'm trying to do a quick summary so we can get on with the conversation. The court is saying that the DSS should either charge Emefiele to court or, allow him administrative bail. And the court is saying that, yes, they might be, investigating all, but to be careful as to not cross the line where they begin to infringe on Emefiele's right. So the only reason why the court gave 7 days is because the court referenced another court's judgment that allowed the DSS 14 days, to carry out, to keep Emefiele in their custody so that they could carry out an investigation. And the question in my head is, all this time, and yet investigations have not been able to reach at least a party. I mean, you can't investigate everything in one time, but at least you should be able to reach some kind of level where they can charge Emefiele to court. And you see, it pains me because it's not just the DSS, it's the other agencies of government, security agents. They usually would rush to arrest and then do investigation, and that's why I always have a problem. That's why people that have been accused, and I know deep down in our mind, that people might probably have committed that crime against the state. But you know what the Constitution says? They are innocent until proven guilty. So we can argue and but because the prosecution usually, which is for the state, which is for the country, usually would do a proper job, or what do you call it, and so sometimes he goes to court, and this individual I like to go scot-free because it's all about what's best in the courtroom. That's what it's about. But let's get to the next one. Boards will be kicked as Tinubu offers opposition governor slot. So you remember that some weeks ago, the president dissolved the boards of certain parastatals, ministries, and agencies. And now, the presidency, or I say the president, President Tinubu, is looking at filling up those slots or those positions. And he has offered to state governors, including those elected on the platform of the opposition parties like the PDP and the Labour Party, to nominate people from the state that will fill in these positions. The flag bearer for Labour Party during the presidential election, how to say, see, I know what the government is trying to do. The government is trying to buy the mind of the people so that the people this is that they can support the government. Understand the matter, but I'm asking a question. Is this such a bad thing? I mean, whether the court goes left or right, eventually, to nominate the best from your state, the best hand in this position, so that nobody will come and say tomorrow that the nominations or the appointments were from a particular zone, crying nepotism and marginalization. When I come back, I'll take the last big story and we open phone lines to stay tuned.
Are you into business and sales or offer any
Act with Kala Dakuru Batabo and 92.3 Nigerian about 4 savings will benefit the country. Standards really merely boards will be kicked as opposition governor slots. Now, I want to go back to the chief of army staff statement. A lot of the time, people would say, "Oh no, the governors, they can't do much. Control comes from the federal government." I do agree. I mean, security agencies answer to the federal government, but I've argued on several platforms, they work in collaboration with the state governors, because the state governors are the chief security officers of the states, and they might not be able to control them like they want or like they would desire, but there is some level of collaboration nonetheless. And if governor says, "I'm going to stamp out this crime and criminality in my state," yeah, you can collaborate without politicizing it, of course. I mean, what really in Nigeria is that we tend to politicize everything. It really doesn't matter. I mean, it matters to an extent, but it can still be used. The security agencies being controlled by the federal government can still be used by, state governors and all of that. All right, let's move to the last one. Second Niger Bridge vandalized. Fittings stolen. And I saw the story and I'm wondering in my mind, is this not the same second Niger Bridge, named after the former president, that was commissioned just before the president left office? And I'm wondering if there's another second Niger Bridge. I mean, this is Nigeria. Anything is possible, right? But if it's the same second Niger Bridge, recently commissioned, or what I call it launched, I'm wondering why people will do such. Or like it was done in Abuja recently, where a man was caught on CCTV TV, stealing manholes. I'm wondering why people go about vandalizing public facilities, and tomorrow they cry and say, oh, government is not doing anything. And I don't want to blame anybody in particular, but usually people from the southeast will cry and say marginalization. They'll say, oh, they don't have enough basic amenities because they have been neglected by government. I understand, and I support that argument. But when you have infrastructures and then it's vandalized by people who are there to steal then I'm wondering what kind of thinking style or pattern we have in the country. First we cry when there are no roads, when there are no infrastructures, when there are no basic amenities, like some of us are crying now, oh, we don't have steady power supply. Then government, something touches them, they decide to give us, and like the word I use, decide, they decide to give us steady power supply. And all of a sudden, we go and we start vandalizing. We start to steal these public facilities so that we can cry tomorrow that government has a long way to go in terms of providing for us. But the little that we have, at least let's protect them and not destroy them. I'm going to open the phone lines now, 25 minutes into the hour. 0817 923 0002. 0817 923 0003. Your text messages, you go to the number 0809 030 6416. Remember, you could drop your WhatsApp messages now. I read them eventually, or you can go on Facebook for live, Nigerian for PH. Drop your comments therein. I read them. Or better still, you can go on YouTube, watch live as well. You can see me in the studio and my mannerisms and my, all the gestures, or what do you call it now? All the movements I'm creating, because I'm really passionate about some of the topics. Better singles now. I'm 0817 0002 and 0817 923 0003. Okay, this one says Obi kicks as Tinubu offers opposition governor slots. Kalada, as much as this looks like a welcome development, it is purely for political motives. The president is doing everything possible to buy the heart of the opposition and their supporters in case there is a rerun. Even if the president appoints Obi as his chief of staff, I will still vote for Obi if a rerun happens. Daniel from Ozoba. But Daniel, let me agree with your argument, and let's say that is a possibility, right? Because the matter is in court. Daniel, would it still not be right that we collect the appointments and ensure that it goes round the 36 states and we've got competent people in these boards, and so that eventually, if it comes to play like your conspiracy theory says, then you do what's in your heart? Really. It so says, I strongly support from the chief of army staff, and I am appealing to the governors of mostly the northern states to allow to fly. The people of that region will start enjoying peace and good life. Wake Chamberlain. That's what Franken is calling from D-Line. Frank, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to you.
Let me comment on the statement. You relax now. We have lost the election.
No.
Our president, Emefiele, Tinubu, appoint whoever he wants to appoint as a minister.
He's got the right to an opinion. He's got the right to an opinion. I said he has a right to an opinion.
He has it's not the president. He's the one that he wants. Even though I say President Tinubu appoints also president to me, president will do his own decision. He has already chosen the people. Even though I thought not to appoint the president, he wants to appoint. So Obi should relax. Let me wait for 2027.
The courts are still yet to decide. But thank you, Frank. I've got Pascal. Pascal, good afternoon to you on the show.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Canada.
Yeah, welcome, Pascal.
Okay, I want to comment on the appointment of people giving prayer for the governor to nominate.
Okay.
So if Obi says that he's trying to buy the mind of the people, any trouble. That's the right thing the president should do.
You think so? Why do you think so? Can you explain? Why do you think it's the right thing?
Okay, the reason why that's the right thing. One, it must not be everybody that is from APC. If he finds anybody in PDP that that this person can deliver, I don't think anything wrong bringing the person into his cabinet or giving the person an appointment. I think it's a good step.
Let me correct something, Pascal. It's not an appointment into the board. Into the cabinet. It's into the board. Like JAMB and the various ministries, parastatals, agencies.
Okay.
So that's where they're asking the governors to submit or nominate names so they can fill those slots. Remember, not too long ago, over 2,000 boards were dismissed, including the NDP's board.
It's a right step. It's a right step. Tinubu is a right step. We should not kick against that.
All right then. Thank you very much. Thank you for calling in. Let's see. I've got some interesting messages in WhatsApp. Remember, I can see some of your calls dropping. Remember, there was a call screener, and today the call screener is a guy. Walk like that. So it's a girl, it's a guy, and it's a guy. Don't get talk to him. He will relay you to me. It is unfortunate you can attribute theft on the second Niger Bridge. Tinubu is playing politics with the appointment. His election wasn't free and fair. All right, what do you think happened on the second Niger Bridge? Can you educate me, please? Because the report says some of the knots are missing, some of the irons are missing. What could have happened? I've got Christopher from Transylvania. Christopher, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Welcome on the show.
I'm commenting on the appointment of opposition to boards of federal government.
Yeah. Go ahead.
It will help reduce and you give a sense of belonging to opposition parties.
Sorry, the connection wasn't clear. I lost some of the things you said along the way. So can you repeat yourself, please?
Okay. What I'm saying, I said I'm commenting on the appointment.
All right.
Of the federal government, that intention of the president to appoint opposition parties to boards of federal government.
Okay.
I said that such appointment will give a sense of belonging to opposition parties, and it will help reduce the political tension that we have around us.
All right.
And that was one basic thing was missing in our political life, giving a sense of belonging to other parties.
All right.
Such is built upon.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Christopher. I've got Chukuma from Modmaya. Welcome on the show. Let's get him. Yeah, good afternoon. Welcome. Let's talk.
Yeah, I want to comment on Mr. Peter being kicking against Bola Tinubu's gesture for governors to make nominations for appointment board. I think I stand with it because one, why would the president be asking the governors to make appointments for him?
To nominate. So now, Chukuma, when we appointed, I want to think he appointed people he knew, and some of you said, oh no, some region saying exempt any region. All of you nominate for and I'll select according to possibly the regions, and you don't see any good thing about it, right?
When he nominated people that will fill in his ministerial, positions, did he also ask the governor?
Yes, there were reports that said that in states where APC won the election, governors would nominate, but in states where states where there are no APC governors, the party leadership will nominate. It's a report on one of the dailies.
No, it makes sense for me. Then for me, if he leaves the nomination in the hands of the governors or party leaders, then I think it could be trouble, because I believe as a president, he is supposed to know the people that can work with you. You're supposed to make technocrats, the good guys. If you look at these governors, some of them will just nominate their crop.
Okay.
And these boards and parastatals are very important to the daily life.
I see.
You know, they're some part of the ministry. So if you put it based on your party member or your governor that I need nomination, my governor says, during the election, this person really helped me compensate by nominating to the board, and that person is not competent. What do you think will happen?
Interesting. I like the angle that Chukuma. I like the angle. Thank you. I've got Zion. Oh, sorry, Zion. You can call back. I had a long conversation with Chukuma. I'm just then the army chief should name and stop begging else not knowing his job. And promises, Mr. to an office now, so do the work. Find a reason not office that fail because we also the or where flat earth from attack. All right, good afternoon to you.
Hello. I want position.
Let me is asking. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, very, very good. Saying that state a nation or two.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like in the federal or government or federal private, which is not what we're looking for. And what we're looking for let me say the round
Okay.
It's not just people bring anyhow all those things. We have people that get leadership. And that is what has kept this country well. Your now you compensate them with
I've got from a
President Tinubu.
But on this issue, I think it is not to be part of his government, and anything go wrong,
what we Nigerians will be saying, APC government has failed us.
All right.
Buhari government has failed us. On this issue, it is not members of his cabinet, but parastatals and agencies. The president may not know everybody in Nigeria. But I think, just like the last caller said, there are people in parastatals and agencies who have spent years in those agencies that are connected to. I think the right in governance is
they should measure it with action and bring to book any person who commits offense.
All right. Thank you very much, Chima. I've got Wisdom from D-Line. Wisdom, good afternoon to you. Welcome.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
All right.
Yeah, I want to comment on this issue of vandalized bridge.
Oh, okay. Let's hear your thoughts then.
Yes. Have you seen this situation of the country that you see youth, a lot of youth going out there to look for iron and the rest? Iron that has not been much of this money-giving product, but now it's something that everybody's looking for, selling, scandalizing things just to sell and get money. This is as a result of unemployment in the country. The rate of unemployment is too much.
True. But is it an excuse? I mean, the rate of unemployment is too much, but can we make an excuse, for these activities?
Yes, if a lot of our youth are employed, you won't see them think about vandalizing products, government facilities, and the rest. If you have work doing, you can treat rest people that are less privileged, and they won't even think of going to vandalize anything.
All right.
But now a lot out there doing nothing, so they need to survive on the government facilities to meet up their funds. I don't know how the future is.
All right, then. All right, thank you very much.
That I feel that it's more like a test. That's those facilities they are doing they are like things that those hoodlums feed on.
Wow.
You understand? That they use it to hold on until they see something.
My point is it an excuse? I mean, I understand you very well, and I've understood you, but is it an excuse?
It's not. I am not. I know.
All right.
I know.
All right.
I am not giving them credit for doing that.
Do you want to give them amnesty now? But thank you very much, Wisdom. I've got to go. I don't know if you want to give them amnesty on that. Ilem Chimaobi on Facebook says President Tinubu should put our subsidy back. He should also ensure that we roast popcorn with electricity. He should reduce electricity tariff and the price of basic commodities in the market. Things are really difficult. All right. Thank you very much. But let's go to WhatsApp before Zion has called back, so I'm going to quickly take Zion's call. Zion is calling from GRA, and I wonder what's on Zion's mind. Zion, good afternoon.
It is the manner at which Nigerians are vandalizing
their own properties, especially the attack or assault on the second Niger Bridge.
So some have said it might not be vandalism, it might be poor construction.
No, sir. We are talking about the axle of the bridge.
Ah, okay.
That is a metal.
Yeah.
That is the power of that bridge. That is what that demarcates between the bridge and the mainland. And the Nigerians we have vandalized it. What does that mean? The integrity of that bridge now is being put under 50% caution, which means the federal government or the authorities can close down that bridge for maintenance.
All right.
Don't forget, it was recently they also attacked one of the airports in this country, removing the fittings. And that is why I stand on the position to say that this country for now, we don't need anything railway. We don't need it. Because the same Nigerians will vandalize the railways. They will cut away the sleepers and the rods in those railways. And
are you there, Zion? Oh, sorry. I do not know what's wrong with our connectivity these days. But I mean, Zion, maybe you can call back and we could continue the conversation sometime later. But I'm looking at the TV screen and I can see that pre-election violence has been recorded and is still being recorded in Kogi State. Wow. My goodness. I wonder if we'll learn. I really do wonder if we'll learn. I really wonder if we would ever get to the part where we'll be so matured and just go vote and not fight pre-election violence. And the people who are killing each other, fighting each other, punching each other, they're punching themselves for nothing because the politicians will shake hands once the election is done with. Trust me, they will. I've got Fine Mind from Rumacruci, and I think this will be the last call I'll take for now so I can read messages. Fine Mind, greetings to you. Welcome.
Yeah, Canada, my brother. Good afternoon.
Yeah, welcome, Fine Mind.
Nice hearing from you again.
Nice hearing from you as well. Welcome.
Can you hear me clearly?
Loud and clear. Go ahead.
Okay. I want to speak on the issue of the military going hard on terrorists.
Okay.
You know, I've been a person that I've always been against offering a terrorist amnesty. It has never solved any problem and it can never do, because these guys are fighting for something that they cannot even explain. If you tell the average bandit what they are fighting for, they cannot explain. When our brothers were actually fighting in the Niger Delta region, then when we had the militants fighting and struggling, it was well defined that they were fighting against the marginalization and the rejection, the oil exploitation that has destroyed the Niger Delta region. That was possible. And of course, a lot of people welcome the amnesty program. So if you tell me that you are fighting for what is meaningless, because you cannot say that Western education is a sin, yet you are using a gun that was made through Western education. You are using implicit devices that were made by Western education, and you are saying that Western education is a crime. So that is a welcome development. They should go hard on them.
All right.
Anyone that feels that killing people is one of his hobbies, that person does not deserve to live. And those in the Southeast as well, since they have refused to heed to calls from their political leaders and their traditional leaders to share this idea of killing people that have refused to obey their sit at home. They are fighting against the injustice in Nigeria, according to them.
All right.
Then you are also meeting that injustice, their own brother and sister. They are going out for their daily bread in a hard economy, and yet they are killing them, saying that they refuse to sit at home. So the military should go hard on them.
All right.
They have refused to do what is right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Fine Mind. I've got to let you go. I've got about 1 minute now to the next commercial break. Let's see. Savings will benefit us. Mr. President should be specific. He should tell us how we will invest the money and what will come out of the investment that will benefit us. I joined the Army Chief of Staff to say no more amnesty for bandits. Greetings, Mr. Canada. Anna, good afternoon to you. Let's see. You said the money saved from subsidy can't get to the poor masses, but the rich, because in this country the rich gets richer and the poor gets poorer. Employment of more Nigerian citizens will be welcomed development, Ezekiel Isaiah. And then you said choosing the right persons to serve the country by the president is a right step in the right direction. Appointments should not be based on political party and interest, but on those that have the expertise, knowledge. Ezekiel, thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Emefiele, your message is longer. Do I have enough time for that? No. I get back to the messages after the commercial break. Just stay tuned. Remember, the business news comes at the top of the hour. Good afternoon.